Hello, I'm Michael Beam.
And I'm Chris Pierce.
And this is the Linux Show, bringing you up-to-date news on open source software and the open source community. Our first story tonight is actually a pretty big one. Due to several licensing problems with openoffice, Sun is having problems with the LGPL, that's the Lesser GNU Public License. And Novell and Sun decided they were going to fork the openoffice package. They're actually forking it into two projects. There was a project they had called openoffice-build, which was being used as a platform for bug fixes, and they've decided to go ahead and branch that into what they call Go openoffice, which will be a fully GPL'd and free version of the openoffice. They're going to use it as kind of a platform so that the code can get upstream easier and developers can do their thing without having to worry about a bunch of licensing problems.
Well, it's definitely big news. I use the openoffice all the time myself, and it's a great program. I really hope this fork doesn't affect it negatively.
Yeah, the fork is a big deal. Software forks in open source software are usually a pretty big deal, especially if it's a big package like openoffice.
Indeed.
Everyone uses openoffice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In other news, Adobe released its first alpha build of the Flex builder for Linux. For those of you who don't know what Flex is, it's essentially a web application builder.
Yeah, IDE.
Right, it's an IDE. It's really starting to take off. We're going to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The very first ever alpha build. So, you know.
Right.
It's a good thing. More projects, more stuff to do. Another story tonight is openSUSE has reached 10.3. So they've packed a bunch of upgrades into there. They're including GNOME 220 as the standard. Some parts of KDE 4, obviously KDE 4 is not done yet, but they've got some of that integrated. And they've got actually a lot of advancements to the YAST, which is the SUSE package manager. So, I mean, openSUSE is great for kind of businesses and more, you know, stuff like that.
Right, it's typically used as desktop workstations and such.
Yeah.
If you're going to go business, but then you're going to use servers, typically you want to go towards Red Hat. But Red Hat is specifically for servers for the most part. But openSUSE really has a big foothold in the desktop part of the work environment. In other news, Skype updated to 1.4 Gold. They call it the Panacea, or Panacea, however you want to pronounce it. Bunch of fixes in that. They improved the quality of voice transmission. I think they worked on the audio codec.
Yeah.
Bunch of big fixes, fixed some bugs.
Yeah, a lot of bug fixes.
Less crashy and such. And that's great news on the business end, once again, because VoIP is just such big doings, and so that's great.
Yeah, Skype is definitely an important package, and the release is it's pretty important. Our other story tonight is that Puppy Linux, which is live CD based on Slackware, has hit 3.0 this week.
It's a big release.
Yeah, it's pretty important. I mean, they've got lots of stuff going for them. The Puppy is, I mean, it's a good live CD. It's one of them that you can actually load the system onto the RAM and take the CD out and, you know, keep using the Linux system without it reading from the CD all the time.
Wow, so it loads all the programs into RAM then?
Yeah, everything. I mean, it's not all that big, but you.
Right.
But obviously, if you have older machine, you should probably expect some slowdown or something with using that. But, you know, if you use it off of a flash drive or off a CD that you don't have to take out, then you don't have to worry about it, really.
Well, I can see how that'd really be a help if you wanted to, say, boot into your live CD and then watch a movie or something.
Yeah, you want to put in a DVD or burn a CD or whatever.
Right.
It's, Always good to do.
And it always run faster, actually. If you had enough RAM to store it in the first place, then loading from RAM is often quite a bit faster than loading it from a CD.
Yeah,
So
read times can really down something like that.
Oh, absolutely.
But
so I can definitely see the
yeah,
advantages in that.
it's good. Well, that's all our stories for tonight. I'm Michael Beam.
And I'm Chris Pierce.
And that was the Linux Show.